Yeah, so right now what we know is that there's been at least one fatality on that helicopter. It took off from lower Manhattan and made its way up the Hudson River, and for some reason that helicopter flipped over into the Hudson River, and then it became an intense rescue operation from the NYPD and the FDNY's marine units and harbor units to try to get to the people on board. We know the helicopter is cleared, meaning nobody is left on board. 5 people were pulled from the wreckage of that helicopter. One person died. We know that 4 people were taken to Jersey City Medical Center. And this is important to note. Of the people who were on board that helicopter, there were 2 adults and 3 children on that helicopter. This is a thing that has been talked about for years in New York City, the number of helicopter flights that take off from the Hudson and East Rivers, and we are not immune to helicopter crashes in this area. In fact, in 2019, there was a helicopter crash on the west side. Luckily, no fatalities in that incident, but then a year earlier, a helicopter all people on board. So it's definitely something that the fire department has dealt with in the past. And when things like this happen, they put divers into the water in an effort to reach them, cut their seatbelts off, and see if they can get them to help.
I will say, too, and just so you, some of the headlines that we've also seen, Miles, from ABC, at least 5 people on board, as you said, including some children, at least 3 killed in the Hudson River helicopter crash. Again, ABC News, and I know this is, a developing story, and it's very fluid at this point. You're on the scene, or where are you?
Yeah, I'm on my way to the scene. I'm on the West Side Highway right now. And just to set the scene of where this is,
Great.
This happened basically just due north of the Hudson River, of the Holland Tunnel. And what we also know is that both units on the New York side and on the New Jersey side responded. This is a New Jersey incident, so New Jersey State Police will be involved in this. The New Jersey Attorney General's office will be involved in this. But there was certainly an effort by New York officials to get to the scene quickly and try to get to as many people as possible.
And certainly the FAA at some point will be involved in this. I want to bring in Sid Phillip, Bloomberg News, Deputy Team Leader and Senior Editor for Global Aviation. He joins us here in the Bloomberg Interactive Broker Studio. This comes on a day where at least 6 members of Congress were on this passenger jet that was clipped by another commercial plane on the ground at Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport near Washington, D.C. Yeah. Of course, these incidents shaking the confidence in the safety of the U.S. aviation system following that deadly midair collision. Are there more incidents happening right now, or are they just getting more attention?
It's a combination of both things. So there are more incidents that have taken place, but there's also a sort of greater awareness of things. So essentially minor incidents where another plane clipped another plane's wing, which did not really result in any injuries, did not result in anything, would normally just be a blip on the radar. But the fact that there's a lot of scrutiny on aviation safety incidents at the moment, following that fatal crash in D.C., does sort of turn up the volume on aviation safety in the U.S. at the moment. I
just want to mention a headline crossing from the FAA, a Bell 206 helicopter. So we're getting some identification. Again, things are just coming in drips and drabs. I have a lot of questions about where it was coming from, private ownership, who owned it, was it a tourist, right? Because we have a lot of those tourist helicopters around here. We also have a lot of corporate, but we have a lot of tourists.
Exactly. I mean, we're looking to see what the details on the ownership of the helicopter, the age of the helicopter, how many people were on it, all of the in terms of what the capacity of the aircraft was and everything. So we're trying to still narrow down what the specifics are and which airline, which operator was operating it, how old the aircraft was. But we're still sort of waiting on those details, and we're still working on getting that out.
Hey, Miles, come on back in here, because it does seem like every few years there is an incident in New York City with a helicopter. And then following those incidents, there are questions raised about regulation of these, how crowded the skies are, and about who's actually operating these helicopters. Talk a little bit about the questions that come up after this, because we do talk about this, I would say, every 3 years or so.
Oh, yeah. I was the chief spokesperson for basically critical response at the fire department. And, in my time there, and it was a short period of time, we had 2 helicopters go down. So it's always something that is in the minds of people in New York.